Now that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is out in theaters around the world, a lot of fans have been very curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise and exactly what could have been before the reshoots and the rewrites of this movie by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie went through a very rough production, in case you guys did not know. Even Kathleen Kennedy talked about this, Bob Iger, the editor Mary Ann Brandon talked about this, that the editing of this movie was very complex as well as the principal photography stage, because they had far less time to work on this movie in comparison to the time that they had with The Force Awakens. So you can really see exactly why at times this movie feels very convoluted or rushed at times in the first and second act of Episode 9, and especially how a lot of scenes related to Palpatine and more were deleted. Now, on top of all of this, in case you guys did not know, we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio went through many different phases of the reshoots. There was actually one phase of reshoots in late 2018, and there was another one in August, September, and October. Those 3 key months of 2019 were really the big moments in which a majority of the second and third acts of the movie were completely changed and pretty much retouched for the characters of Kylo, Rey, Palpatine, and even the new villain that was dubbed as the Dark Acolyte to come in this movie. Now, on top of all of this, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm have released The Rise of Skywalker and are primarily focused on the future of the Star Wars franchise, many fans have been very curious of what could have been before the reshoots and the rewrites of the film by Disney and Lucasfilm. During the months of August, September, and October is when many changes and adjustments were made to the second and third acts of the movie in order to make the film cater to a general audience and to also create a different tone for the film as well. Along with this, many scenes were deleted in the process, including a brand new villain portrayed by Matt Smith, simply known as the Dark Acolyte. One of the deleted scenes that took place in the third act took place on the world of Exegol, inside of Palpatine's throne room, where eventually both Rey and Ben Solo strike down Palpatine's old body and cut the crane machine in half, where the spirit of Palpatine begins to exit his corpse and fuses with the Dark Acolyte's body. Now, this is where a 2-on-1 lightsaber duel would continue that would eventually lead to a moment in which the Acolyte knocks Rey unconscious by slamming her into a wall using the Force itself, where he and Kylo Ren eventually battle against each other, where Kylo kills the Acolyte. Once this happens, the spirit of Sidious exits the body of the Acolyte and actually invades Kylo's body, where in the original scene, Kylo's face was going to age rapidly to the point where Kylo's appearance would be a mixture of Sidious and himself, giving the image of a far older Kylo Ren with Sith eyes. The code name of the character at the time was labeled as Darth Ren, when both Palpatine's spirit and Kylo's body combined. Now, Adam Driver went under heavy makeup for the scene before it was deleted and due for reshoots. Now, obviously this would have been a sequence that would have really inspired a lot of fans, because this would have been a moment in which it somewhat is modeled after the expanded universe, even more so, where you have the spirit of Sidious hopping into a different body, kind of like what we saw in the Dark Empire comic line, where he's able to hop into other clones of himself. And that, to me, I think would have been a better route to go, to be quite honest. Now, the thing that really stands out to me the most about this particular scene is, of course, the makeup artist that actually worked on Adam Driver. Now, they actually made him look far more older in design, as if he was a mixture between Palpatine and himself, because of the spirit of Sidious taking over his body. And let's not forget, the battle between the Dark Acolyte and Kylo Ren really would have been quite amazing to see on the big screen. And originally, they were going to have Kylo Ren's cross-guard lightsaber make it over to the world of Exegol, where he would actually fight the Acolyte with a red lightsaber against a red lightsaber. Something that we have never seen before in a Star Wars movie that I honestly believe would have made it a very unique scene and would have really made it a very classic scene. Now, say what you will about George Lucas, but to me, this would have been a better route to go. I don't know if you guys knew this, but George Lucas actually worked on the Dark Acolyte scenes before they were fully cut from the movie. Now, whether or not we're going to see any shred of that material on the Blu-ray is a big mystery as of right now. Hopefully, we do get to see more of what Matt Smith had to offer in The Rise of Skywalker before he was actually cut from the film. You know, it was a telltale sign right when we saw his name disappear on many of the StarWars.com websites. You know, initially Matt Smith was in the cast, and then out of nowhere, boom, he just vanished for no reason at all. We didn't really know why at the time, and now it does indeed make a lot more sense. So the world of Exegol, it was going to have darker tones with the Dark Acolyte having a saber battle against Kylo Ren and Rey, even to the point where Rey would get knocked unconscious by getting slammed against the wall by the Dark Acolyte. By using the Force, you can see exactly what they really wanted to do with Episode 9. They wanted to make it far darker and have new characters come into play here for, of course, the dark side of the Force itself. Now, with that being said, guys, like I say, Matt Smith, talented actor. I think he would have been a great fit to Star Wars. It's just rather unfortunate that he did not make the final cut of the movie. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.